Hello and welcome back, you legends, to this, well, rather boring video while we'll take a little range flight. The range we will encounter is about 60 kilometers in total, and we'll have a flight time of approximately an hour, which is not too bad. 55 minutes to be honest, but yeah, let me walk you through this and, well, I will try to narrate some of it along the way. Have fun!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
JustFPV.
And we're up, and you can see beneath here in the screen there's a plane accompanying the T2, and that exactly is a Titan Dynamics Gemini. That's a printed 1 meter wingspan wing, and well, it went along with the T2 that day. I will try to keep the footage not too boring as those planes walk hand in hand along the sky, and well, I guess you don't have the guts to sit here all around for an hour, right? Well, let me crop it together to the most exciting parts of the video so you can have an idea. And yes, we will try to go as bold and far away as we can go. I guess you can see the wide motors on the T2. Those are the sunny skies made for heaving. Yet again, they won't end up in sail as mentioned before somewhere in my videos, because they're about to do something new. Whatever that might be, we'll find out soon enough. Yet again, those flew amazing, and to be fair and honest, they are more economic than the others and have plenty of power. So I think, if I remember right, they save up to 5 amps in a launch. That's a lot. So yeah, there's much more in store with these, so yeah, we'll try something with them. After some time out in the flight, the Gemini, who is out of ammo, so to say, now the battery was running low, and so it decided to go back while the T2 headed on. You can see the little forest in the front of it. That's the next destination, and that's a certain point which had to be reached as a part of this mission. Being that far out, you can see the telemetry just struggles to get along, and Walksnail, well, has a little trouble about time to keep up with the transmission. Yet again, although everything is stuttering, you'll be able to fly, and so the T2 kept going. And then finally it reached the point where nothing went through Walksnail any longer. So time to kick in RTH, just to make sure everything is fine. And as you can see, works as expected. Heading home for now. As already mentioned, this would be a long flight. Yeah. And after having reached the first mission point, which isn't a mission at all, just the personal thing where the T2 was decided to go. Yeah, well, that was the first 11 kilometers, if I remember right. I can be mistaken, of course, but I don't know exactly. I mean, something about that. And then we headed on. The T2 had to go further. Somewhere else, because there was plenty of energy left in the battery. As you can see, we've burned so far 4.3 amp hours, and yeah, let's head into the sun, shall we? On those flights where you have those long passages, you have plenty of time to tune your wing or your plane or whatever, your PIDFs, and that's exactly what we try here. We have a look at those, and basically they're pretty fun, but you can see there's a little oscillation overall. We're just shifting left to right and back again, and that can do better, right? So it's it's always a nice idea to hang out with the PIDFs and have a look what you can tune while you are up there, and you can see some issues, which, well, to be honest, aren't those big at all. So yeah, that's more cosmetics, because basically everything works out pretty fine. If you look to the low right, you will discover that the bitrate of the Walksnail has been dropping tremendously over time, and you can see we're at that point where it is almost to break up. You see the USD items, they won't get refreshed that frequently as you used to, and so this is a good indication on we are at the limit of what is possible with Walksnail at this point in this setup currently situated here in this location. And that's a simple thing, because every location has its own interferences, and yeah, well, in this location this is the limit. You won't get any further unless you turn. Well, basically that's what's happening. We're turning, as you can see, and well, it has been a pretty good trip, and I don't know how far we went, but it was decent. It was, and yeah. Now I mentioned that we had burned about 6 amp hours, and now we're up to 6.5 amp hours and down by 20.2 volts. I want to sharpen you on, well, having a look at your data and your OSD while flying on such trips, because it's always, you have to keep in mind, you have to go back and be able to go back. So if you go out there somehow, I don't know what you're doing, but if you go out there and keep in mind, you will always have to be able to get back unless something really stupid happens, which usually isn't the case. So look at the consumption, look at the wind direction, look at how much energy you have left. A good hint is to turn when your battery is at 50%. 50%. Furthermore, you have to look where the wind is coming from. Good hint here. Go and start always into the wind. Do your direction against the wind. That's the point where you will burn the most energy. But if you need to go back, the wind will carry you home with a lower consumption, and that's exactly what happens here too. You can see in the indicator up left, the wind is coming with 15.4 kilometers an hour from behind, which carries us pretty good along. As we are riding back home, you can see the consumption of, well, the amperage at least, is decreasing. So we are down by 5.5 amps, which is cool, of course. And yeah, we've almost done the trip. Yeah, preparing to land, and buckle up. And I would like to thank you to have stayed with me along this long, and I must admit, a little bit boring, no action scenes, right, really. This trip at least, to say, and it was a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for being with me, and thanks again for joining me on this flight. We would be happy to see you next time again when it's up for the next T2 flight with some terrified content situations, stupid things that happen to mostly all of us, at least to me. So yeah, prepare to see something completely and entirely different. It's not so much flying then. However, we are turning a final time here now as we are preparing to land, and as mentioned, and I can't say it often enough, thanks for being here, thanks for joining me, and be sure to be here next time, and we'll catch up again. Safe flying. Have fun.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome.